CentOS has long been one of the most influential names in the Linux world, not because it chased trends or flashy desktop features, but because it represented stability, trust, and long-term reliability. For years, when someone asked what operating system to use for a production server that needed to run continuously with minimal maintenance, CentOS was often the first answer. It became a foundation for countless websites, enterprise infrastructures, hosting companies, research labs, and personal servers, quietly powering huge portions of the internet without most end users ever knowing its name. To understand CentOS properly, you have to start with its identity. CentOS, which stands for Community Enterprise Operating System, is a Linux distribution that was historically built from the same source code as Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Red Hat would release the source code for RHEL as required by open source licenses, and the CentOS project would rebuild that code, remove Red Hat branding, and release it as a free, binary compatible alternative. The result was a system that behaved almost exactly like Red Hat Enterprise Linux but did not require a paid subscription. This made CentOS incredibly appealing to organizations and individuals who need an enterprise-grade stability without enterprise licensing costs. From the very beginning, CentOS positioned itself as a server-focused operating system. While desktop images did exist, they were never the main attraction. The real strength of CentOS lay in its conservative update policy, long life cycle, and commitment to stability over novelty. A major CentOS release would often be supported for close to 10 years, allowing administrators to deploy systems and trust that core components would not change unexpectedly. This was especially important in business environments where software certification, compliance, and predictable behavior mattered more than having the latest features. CentOS gained massive adoption in the hosting industry. Web hosting providers loved it because it was stable, secure, and widely supported by control panels like Plesk and DirectDomain. Developers appreciated that applications tested on Red Hat Enterprise Linux would run the same way on CentOS. System administrators valued the familiarity and consistency of the environment. Over time, CentOS became a de facto standard for Linux servers in data centers around the world. Another reason for CentOS's success was its simplicity. It did not try to reinvent system management or introduce radical new tools before they were proven. It stuck with technologies like YAML for package management in its earlier days, later transitioning smoothly to DNF, and maintained traditional system administration practices. This conservative approach made it easy for administrators to carry knowledge from one version to another and from CentOS to Red Hat systems without retraining. Security was always a central focus of CentOS. Because it followed Red Hat's security advisories closely, patches for vulnerabilities were quickly made available, while CentOS updates sometimes arrived slightly later than RHEL due to the rebuild process. The delay was usually short and acceptable for most use cases. The emphasis on backporting security fixes rather than upgrading entire software versions ensured that systems remained stable while still being protected. CentOS was also a favorite in educational and testing environments. Universities and training centers used it to teach Linux administration because it mirrored enterprise deployments so closely. Students could learn skills that translated directly into real-world jobs using Red Hat-based systems. For home lab enthusiasts, CentOS provided an easy way to experiment with enterprise Linux features like system services, virtualization, and networking tools without needing a commercial license. Over time, CentOS evolved alongside the broader Linux ecosystem. As virtualization and cloud computing grew, CentOS adapted well. It became a common choice for virtual machines, cloud images, and container hosts. Many early Docker images and container platforms were built on CentOS because of its predictable behavior and long support window. In cloud environments, where stability and security mattered deeply, CentOS found a natural home. However, the story of CentOS is incomplete without addressing one of the most significant shifts in its history. In 2014, Red Hat officially brought CentOS under its wing. The project became part of Red Hat's ecosystem, with Red Hat contributing resources, infrastructure, and engineers. At the time, this move was widely seen as positive. It promised better alignment, faster updates, and a stronger future for CentOS. For several years, that appeared to be the case. Then came the moment that changed everything. In late 2020, Red Hat announced a major strategic change to the CentOS project. Traditional CentOS Linux, which had been a downstream rebuild of RHEL, would be discontinued. In its place, CentOS Stream would become the primary CentOS offering. This announcement sent shockwaves through the Linux community. Many organizations had built their infrastructure around the assumption that CentOS would continue to be a free, stable RHEL clone with long-term support. To understand why this decision was so controversial, it's important to understand what CentOS Stream is. Unlike classic CentOS Linux, which sat downstream of RHEL, CentOS Stream sits upstream. It acts as a rolling preview of what will eventually become the next minor release of Red Hat Enterprise Linux. This means CentOS Stream is continuously updated with changes that are planned for RHEL, rather than being a static point-in-time rebuild. While it is more stable than a typical rolling release distribution, it is not intended to be identical to a finished RHEL release. For developers and contributors, CentOS Stream offers real advantages. It allows the community to see changes earlier, provide feedback, and contribute to the future of RHEL for Red Hat. It creates a more open development pipeline and reduces duplication of effort. However, for users who relied on CentOS as a drop-in replacement for RHEL in production environments, this shift represented a fundamental change in trust and expectations. The end of CentOS Linux, especially the early end of life of CentOS 8, forced many organizations to reassess their infrastructure plans. Some migrated to RHEL subscriptions, especially after Red Hat expanded its free developer subscriptions for small workloads. Others looked for alternatives that promised to continue the traditional CentOS model. This led to the rise of new distributions like Alma Linux and Rocky Linux, both of which aimed to be binary compatible with RHEL and backed by independent foundations. Despite the controversy, CentOS Stream still plays an important role in the Linux ecosystem today. It is not unstable in the way bleeding GD distributions are, but it is also not the ultra-conservative platform that classic CentOS was known for. It is best suited for developers, testers, and organizations that want early insight into RHEL changes and are comfortable with a slightly faster update pace. In many development and staging environments, CentOS Stream fits perfectly. CentOS also remains relevant historically. Its legacy shaped how enterprises think about open source infrastructure. It demonstrated that community-driven projects could deliver enterprise-quality systems at global scale. It influenced countless careers, teaching generations of administrators the principles of reliable system management. Even today, many configuration guides, scripts, and best practices trace their roots back to years of CentOS usage. From a technical standpoint, CentOS was never about fancy defaults or aggressive innovation. It was about proven technologies, careful integration, and long-term confidence. Its kernel, libraries, and core utilities were chosen for maturity rather than novelty. This approach minimized surprises and maximized uptime. In a world where downtime can cost thousands or even millions of dollars, this philosophy made CentOS invaluable. The lessons of CentOS go beyond a single distribution. They highlight the tension between community expectations and corporate strategy, between stability and innovation, and between free access and sustainable development. CentOS showed both the strengths and vulnerabilities of open source ecosystems that depend heavily on corporate stewardship. Today, when people talk about CentOS, they're often really talking about an era when you could deploy a free operating system that behaved exactly like a leading enterprise product and rely on it for nearly a decade. While that specific model may be gone, its influence lives on in successor projects and in the broader discussion about how enterprise open source should work. In the end, CentOS remains a symbol of trust built over time. Whether remembered as a rock-solid server OS, a training ground for enterprise Linux skills, or a turning point in open source governance, CentOS earned its place in Linux history. Its story is not just about software, but about the relationship between communities, companies, and the people who depend on open source to build the systems that run our digital world.